that, Clubhouse has said to me that, like, okay, anybody could be listening. Now, why they did that, I have no fucking clue. The only logical thing that comes to my mind is that they'll take the consequences of, people, that want to stream it or whatever. Maybe it was the easiest mechanical way to allow, let's say, press in without getting thrown out. Maybe the media wants to be in these rooms. Maybe
it's because people are clipping it anyways. They have to deal with those consequences regardless. Do you know how many takedown requests they get and how many reports they get? It must drive them crazy. They eliminated their fucking customer service department by doing this.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been a frustrating experience. With the frustration for me was I used to tell people that came in the room, hey, look, unlike Monica will tell people, hey, recordings are off. And I understood why Monica did that, because people accused Monica of stuff that she didn't say. So she wanted to have the replay to be able to say, look, I could play the replay for you. I never said any of that shit. Here's the context in which that came out. I took a different approach where I was like, and this was through trial and error, because I used to have replays on. And then I just recognized that, like, the conversations would be far more free-flowing when the replay was off. And so, because I would tell people, hey, the replays are off, people would feel safe that they could do that. And then my frustration was with people like John that would then record it and stream it, because it's like, well, shit, I'm not doing the recording of it, but somebody else is. It defeated the purpose of what the environment I was trying to create. But now I don't get that argument. I don't have the luxury of that argument anymore, because Clubhouse has taken the tools away from me to stop that behavior. I pretty much know when we have anonymous people in this room who it is that's recording, and I can't do anything. If I go and click on the anonymous profile, it brings me to a thing that asks me if I want to pay to sign up. I'm going to
ask you a question. Here's a question for you, right? If, for whatever reason, Clubhouse chose to be able to reverse the decision to make anonymous unbootable, would you continue to, block individuals who are recording rooms without your consent?
I'm in a one-party state, so it doesn't matter whether I like Edmund recording me or not. I don't have a right to do it.
I was asking Mojo. I'd love to hear your input.
So what is the question exactly? Would I block him if I could? Is that your question?
Clubhouse chose to be able to reverse the decision, right, of allowing anonymous to be able to stay in rooms and disabling moderators to be able to kick them out. Okay, would you continue to block people who are recording and streaming rooms without people's consent?
I would, but I would also say that it's a game of whack-a-mole, and for every account that John had that I blocked, which was a non-trivial amount of accounts, I have to assume that he had at least 4 more for every one that I had blocked. So it's a game of whack-a-mole. In fact, there's a few people, and I won't name them, that are very good at identifying, oh, hey, that's a John account. They can't do it now. Now we just, assume that, the anonymous, down there with the fingernail is probably John. I think the one with the lips is maybe John. But it doesn't matter at this point, because the anonymous can't get kicked out. There's nothing you can do about it. He could just have a random non-anonymous account. He could bring his own account, just change it to some name, put like a nondescript picture and bio, and we're just going to tolerate.
See, people who ratted me out, they'd be watching my live stream and then they'll come in your room and say, hey, Kitover is recording your room. Like, that's the easiest way for people, who rat me out, because they were monitoring my YouTube.
You don't get to be a victim when you're the perpetrator, John. Sorry.
I'm not the victim here. I'm telling you what I do. I enjoy what I do, bro. Apparently, there's something that I recorded that upset you, but I assure you it was never intentional to upset you.
Okay, I'm just pointing out, you shouldn't play the victim when you're actually the perpetrator.
Okay, got it. Thanks,
Rowan, look, I've communicated my frustration, and I've
Oh, yeah.
I've successfully had multiple of his accounts clipped off of this app. I'll brag about that. And I've had at least one of his YouTubes at least temporarily brought down, or at least I think it was because of mine. So I've gone out of my way to do battle. I'm just saying that I'm throwing in the fucking white flag now that fucking Clubhouse has basically said they're on his side. It's essentially this is the way I look at it, right?
But can't you?
I can't do anything to stop it. So my choices are I cannot be on the app, or I mean, what else? Like, Rowan, what could I do? What would you recommend with the current state of how Clubhouse allows anonymous accounts? How would you prevent this?
There's actually nothing you can do to prevent it, and that's like technically that's the reality. But to be able to to be able to, I guess now switch the coins and be able to say, well, Clubhouse is responsible for this, and John has no responsibility on that. I mean, there's nothing innocent about recording a person.
Is it a personal thing, or is it just the recording?
And then trying to commercialize it to its own extent. But like I said earlier, like it is just fucking bizarre that a person would choose to be able to, I don't know, be elected or try and get elected as a congressman. Whereas one of the main thing that a person needs is to be able to have trust. People need to be able to have trust in a person.
Well, what's more important, courage or trust, Rohan?
It's a low-down act.
And how do you establish trust? How do you establish credibility?
And commercialize like the recordings without consent. I think it's a low-life thing to do.
Got it. I'll be sure to tell every constituent you don't like my recording.
You are actually fucking up with other people's enjoyment, and you don't give a shit about that. And that's okay. You do you, man. That's all.
Did you ever think maybe it's a you problem?
Oh, yeah, I did think about that. That lasted about half a second, which is about the same amount of time I'd give you face-to-face.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Mummy.
Well, I think what I do is actually art. You know, I think all videos, all pictures are forms of art. And so if you are a critic and you don't like my art form, well, I encourage you to go to johnforcongress.com and send me 10, not 11, 10, not $9 right now. Go to johnforcongress.com.
Listen, John, is it true? They said one night, we were on Pepe's room, they said you were live streaming Pepe's room while dancing naked on Instagram. Is that true, or were they just...
You can't dance naked on Instagram, NY, sorry.
Semi-naked, partially naked?
I gotta tell you, if you're in Pepe's room, you have no right to complain about anything that John does.
I agree. And, you know, if you come down so hard on me, you should go look in the mirror because I'm playing a word game here. I'm a nonviolent person. I believe that spending $10 billion a day at the federal level is immoral and it's basically theft. And it's time for the American people to wake up and hear what people are talking about. And thus, that's why I've recorded Clown House for going on 6 years.
And that is a sickness.
Well, what if you just redirected your energy and I don't want to tell you how to do your art, but if you were to think about the power that you have at your disposal, and I think you're doing some of this already, which is this is why, like, you know, if people think why is Mojo going so soft on him, it's because I've actually seen live streams on YouTube that you've shared that people now get to hear terrorist sympathizers, you know, talking amongst themselves. And my hope is that the law enforcement community sees that stuff and takes action on it. And if that were to happen, if a single arrest were made because of a video that you shared, I think all of the grievances that I have because, you know, my PTR was up there and my voice was shared on a stream that got, you know, 98 views, it would grossly outweigh like, the inconvenience and my feeling of my privacy being invaded. Which, by the way, now that Clubhouse has changed their rules, I have no fucking I have no delusions that I have privacy on this app at all.
I mean, privacy is an illusion from the beginning, even with the anonymous, because there are a lot of innocuous accounts that just float around and you don't kick them. And if you kick one because you think it's me, it's only because somebody's looking at my YouTube live. So, the privacy concern with me is there should be no concern. I'm very transparent and public. So it's these other rooms, which are terrorist supporters and potential terrorists. And, I have no problem having the FBI look me over 10 times. I've been in the military and I've never committed a crime. So, come at me and I'll give you everything I have. That's why I don't mind drawing attention to myself, because I am an honest and good person. I have no beefs with anybody in my life. So, I'm a happy and a consistent person who comes on here and records the dumbest conversations about people talking about nothing. So, if you got a problem with me, maybe there's something inside of you that's not fully self-actualized. I don't know. Maybe it's a you problem.
If anybody wants to get a lesson in gaslighting, please go and see John.
I can't believe you were being serious, but okay.
Well, wait a minute, John. If everybody is talking about absolutely nothing, what makes it interesting enough for you to report them and stream it?
Haven't you watched Seinfeld NY? That's a show about nothing. It's George, Elaine, and Jerry talking in their apartment. They go on dates. It's a show about nothing. It's called Zen. It's essentially a word game. And welcome, everyone, to the secondary Clownhouse world game of John Kitover, who has recorded 6 years of this stupid app, and all of you in this room.
So here's something to consider. Hold on. Here's something to consider, right? And I think I have no idea what the actual motivations are of John. Only he knows. What I can say is that he's well aware that the average video gets very little views. He knows that, right? But if he enjoys doing it, and there's this potential. This is the thing that people forget. If he's got a volume of content, this long tail of a bunch of little videos that nobody's watching, all that has to happen is one magnificent thing be streamed. Somebody fucking opens their mic and blows their fucking brains out on the stage. Not giving anybody any ideas. But just something crazy happens, and it gets recorded, and it was streamed by him, and it's on YouTube. Yeah, it'll get taken down, but there'll be copies of it elsewhere. And then all of a sudden, they'll go and look for other accounts, and all of the other videos, people will all that has to, and it doesn't have to be something that crazy. All that has to happen is one magnificent moment that captures people's attention and gets shared. And if somebody with a major account starts sharing this and say, I was listening to this, check this fucking thing out. This is happening on an app called Clubhouse. This guy's got a whole fucking channel. He's got a library of fucking thousands of hours of this shit. He may end up being a fucking genius if all he needs is one video to go crazy viral. Just one. And he will get paid a lot of money for the video going live. I don't think that's his motivation, because he's invested a lot of time to put a lot of strikeouts.
You got to realize my primary target was Adrian Dittman, who is Elon Musk. I have so many Adrian Dittman recordings of him prior to Trump winning, as well as everything leading up to his termination. I have more Elon Musk recordings than anything, fucking 1,000. And those to me are really interesting because he's a nitwit and an idiot, and he sounds like every idiot. There's nothing special about the guy. He cooks butter steak and makes terrible jokes, and people don't really like him that much. But again, that's still just a show about nothing. So, I mean...
but Adrian Dittman is not Elon.
It is Elon Musk. It is.
No, it's not. His David here stuff. We were in a room with Adrian Dittman, Elon Musk, and Elon's mom. And I don't know if you've ever heard this. It was on a Twitter space. So they were in the room together and they were talking at the
I
same
get it.
time.
He has burners and multiple cell phones. Trust me. I will bet anybody in this room $10,000 that I can prove to you that Adrian Dittman is 100% Elon Musk, because I have enough recordings to prove it. I have so many recordings it would blow your fucking mind.
Ro, let me ask you a question. Would you, if instead of John having YouTube channel after YouTube channel dedicated to me and Dr. Jordan, if he had YouTube channels that were dedicated to guys like Amir and Mikhail and some of the terrorists that were on here, don't you think that could be a potential good?
But then it gets.
Look, I was thinking about that, and absolutely. Hang on for a second. Absolutely. It would have some good to it. It'd have the potential for some good. And the fact that he's saying that he's reporting some of these incidences, I think is also potentially good as well, just to be able to highlight some of the problematic people. But would it sort of outweigh everything else? I don't know.
What did I do that was so terrible?
In the meantime, okay, and I'm glad you can reflect. Dice, it's great.
My sin of using Instagram and my sin of using YouTube.
John, okay, control your narcissism. Just half a second. Until then, this is a maybe. There's a prospect. In the meantime, you've got many people on a social app that utilize this medium to be able to have shared information about how they feel and so forth. It's changed the experience for other people to the point where people need to be able to change their names to the point where if lots of people do that, then effectively there are more masks that are on this particular app. There's less benefit for people to be able to get. So there's a trade-off in some way.
I think the fact that those rooms where the terrorist sympathizers are being streamed onto YouTube, I think that's fucking incredible. I'm just trying to figure out, is there a way, and this would be a genuine question to everybody in the room, including, I know how you feel about John, and prior to Clubhouse making their decision, I felt exactly the same. But is there a way that maybe we can, even if you still view him as a nuisance, where we could say, like for example, let's say one of the terror sympathizers comes into this room and we start engaging in a conversation and they're crashing out hard and saying some things that are highly problematic, right?
Yep.
What if we utilize this? It's like the comic book universe has the Punisher. We should have a mechanism to call in the Punisher, and to be able to just, if somebody's crashing out super hard, I think rather than making John the bad guy here, if we said, hey, look, we're gonna set the fucking honey trap, and we're gonna bring you content that's far more entertaining than the stupid shit that we wax about. And what if we leverage this service? Think of it as a service that he's providing. He thinks of it as art, but we think of it as a service, and we figure out a way to leverage it. What's wrong with that?
No, sure, great. Look, and until that day, if it ever eventuates, where information that he is, he's not really producing it, that he's copying and streaming, it goes towards serves a purpose to be able to bring misaligned people into alignment, and extremists and so forth. Then until that point in time, I still have not many favourable. Actually, I don't have many favourable things to be able to say about him at all. I see that he's actually doing more harm for other people than good.
Well, do you have any evidence to support your opinion? Because I just don't think you have any actual evidence to support your hypothesis there, Dr. Rowe.
Well, okay, I don't care to be able to spend my time and energy and thoughts in validating.
Got it. I got no compliments for you either then, so have a good evening.
I mean...
if you're leaving, that'll be wonderful. Bye.
I think that if he editorialized any of the surveillance programming that he could conduct on Clubhouse anti-Semitism rooms, that would be huge. Now, one of the rooms where he recorded all the Jewish women ganging up on me was kind of a classic. Calling me out as a crazy misogynistic Jewish American prince. That room, that stuff could go viral. For sure, for show.
See, I do agree that I think my recordings, though extremely amateur and low quality, cell phone to cell phone on little mini tripods, it's very pathetic. But I am also a comedian. I am trying to essentially capture crash outs in a way, because really the high emotional stuff, to me, I have to process it. And, I do a lot of listening. And to me, really, the one great thing about this app is you do realize there are people who are road raging all the time. And, anger management and how you respond to your environment versus having useless conversations about nothing, wasting all your time here because you can't find something better to do with your time. It's really, this app is a great place for enlightenment and for awakening and optimization on how you're living your life. Because in my opinion, if I were to get every word you've ever said on here and put it in front of you, and you could fast forward through it and all that stuff, you'd be like, was it worth it? I mean, does anybody here think it was worth it?
Well, I think there's
hold on,
Go ahead.
Dr. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how we can create perhaps a loop that makes this better for everybody. For example, if we have someone that's crashing out, there should be a back channel to John to say, hey, they're crashing out. Come get your content. He's probably already there. And he's
I
probably
can
already
text them if you need.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like, just, hey, they're crashing out. Come grab this. The other thing that would be great is part of that feedback loop is if John could take the care to have his greatest crash outs, maybe create a YouTube channel of Clubhouse crash outs, and then just
It already exists.
Issa, I believe me, I listen to the content that's on there. That does not exist. That does not exist. You're incorrect. But if he was to index it in such a way that we could then bring attention to it, then the way we bring it full circle is he could find the crash outs in either this room or other rooms. Say, hey, if you go check out the video, it's at the whatever mark. Then we could pull it up in the rooms. We can repurpose it as content, pointing people back to his videos, creating more views for him, getting more people to talk about it. I think we could create a feedback loop and then just do rooms. We could literally do rooms.
It's a roast. You want to roast people who crash out. It's a roast show. That's the show. It's the best show, and it is the most entertaining. And that you run a roast room because you bring people up and you roast them.
Well,
I am just so happy that you are finally appreciating Edmund.
If I may add really quick, I think the Clubhouse Troll Academy concept, although I was kind of joking, I would love to benefit from some of the revenue we could generate. Where else in internet land can you learn to troll by text, by voice, emotional and psychological trolling? It is like a breeding ground for potential trolls, and we could use it for good. Like, there's nothing, if we wanted to troll terrorists, it's kind of like, who is that comedian? Who's the comedian who made fun of, who pretended to be that Islamic guy, the Jewish guy who did all these funky movies?
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen, yeah. Who was he? Who did he pretend to be the first? Who was the Islamic guy that he pretended to be?
Ali G.
Ali G.
Yes, Ali G.
Yeah, I don't, I've sat in many Amir's rooms, and I like to set it and forget it. I can't sit there and listen to their bullshit, but the times that I have spent listening to them, they say enough stupid shit in there to get themselves in a lot of trouble. If the right person heard what they're saying, they'd have a lot of trouble on their hands.
Could you at least dedicate it one particular channel to his room, so then I would come through that to go find the content, to just play it, rip into it, allow the people that are so inclined to turn it over to the proper authorities, maybe do some voice matching, things like that.
Why don't you just get a Mojo 2 account and live stream their fucking room with an anonymous into this fucking room, and then we can all roast them together. Make it an interactive experience, upgrade the quality of your show, get some more burner accounts, and let's get this party started.
I actually have to tell you, I will not pay for an anonymous account, but for those of you that have them, I'm happy to partner with you in a way that we could create good content.
Are you talking about Ben Mandelson?
If that's the content you want to create, that's fine by me. I'm more interested, to be quite honest, with some of the people that are saying literal criminal shit on here. I think that's a service that imagine this story. Clubhouse troll leads to investigation and an arrest of a terrorist cell of the United States. That'd be fucking amazing. Dude, he'd get elected. He'd go to Congress. It'd be amazing.
You know he's running for Congress, right?
Wait, can you repeat that soundbite? Can you repeat that soundbite, Mojo, one more time, please? Thank you.
Yeah, and he already has all that content. He just hasn't filtered it. Maybe AI can help him. Fetch all those gold nuggets you have, Edmund.
I mean, where is the FBI? You know, where is the CIA? Where is the NSA? Is all they do outward facing?
Didn't you work for the FBI or something?
No, I've worked for the government since 2002.
It was another alphabet.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember seeing an ID of Edmund. And
No,
it was a government
it's a military
but...
ID. I was in the Army.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a way to leverage this in a way that gets everybody what they want. You can expose terrorists. You can get the entertainment of the crash outs. Edmund gets the content. If it ever goes viral, that'd be amazing.
I am glad that you finally decided not to get triggered by him.
Well, you missed a lot, and John can catch you up at some point. But it's listen. If Clubhouse hadn't changed their rules, I'd have my same opinion about this. But Clubhouse is the one that decided that nope, there's nothing you can do about it. And so I'm not one of those people that's insane where you have to deal with the world the way it exists. Clubhouse allows anonymous accounts, and anonymous accounts can easily stream these things. It's a very, very easy decision for me to just say, I'm throwing in the white towel. And then once you surrender, then you have to look at like, okay, what can be gained here? And I think the thing that John's done and that we all agree on, even his biggest critics agree, is that he's doing the Lord's work when it comes to recording some of these terrorists. So.
Thanks. I mean, Roger, Mayhem was a big project for me. I mean, I created a lot of content around the Roger Mayhem movie. And, it wasn't until I see the thing is, to me, this is like recording a video game. Like, as a great speaker and a great organizer on this app, don't you think that it should have been natural that somebody wants to record you? I mean, I can't be the only person that's ever recorded you, but if you go on YouTube and you type in Roger Mayhem, like, have you ever listened to yourself and been like, yeah, that was a good take, that was right, or maybe I was, like, how do you do any self-reflection based off of my artwork? Thank you.
I hate the sound of my own voice, so no, I don't find any value in the things that I say.
I loved how diplomatic I was in some of the rooms where you recorded me. I was surprisingly diplomatic, considering sometimes I'm as emotional as the most estrogenized woman.
So hot.
I know, sexy, isn't it? I was going to ask you, though, how did the liberal rooms that you recorded, the Ben Mendelsohn's rooms, which I'm not judging, I'm not being judgmental about, how did that pilot study go for you in terms of your production work on those? Because I think you did some projects on him as well, right?
Honestly, like I am also a dopamine addict. So when people know that I'm recording them and it's driving them crazy, and they're like, I'm watching him right now. He's fucking live streaming. Like that to me is when my dopamine flares and I'm like sitting here laughing, just uncontrollable, like tickles and so much fun. And maybe you could call it elder abuse because I know there are a lot of senior citizens on here. But the point is, this for me is like an interactive game. I mean, many people, maybe you can't project yourself into me and what I'm doing with all these cell phones in this office every fucking day. But to me, this is an interactive video game and I love video games. And this is to me is the best casino entertainment that I can play for no money down.
Well, it's really cool. It's really amazing when you can have like so much fun at other people's expense, isn't it? What does it say about a person, John? Look, I'm gonna just maybe continue because I sort of agree with what Mojo's saying. Maybe it will come to a point of time where you can just say, you know what, maybe getting this feedback from other people, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing by other people. It's not right, but what I can do is focus on, these fucking terrorist supporters, okay, and the racists on here, and dedicate your time to actually doing something that's positive, make a positive change.
Well, he's not going to win the Golden Mayer Peace Award, but he could make a difference. And I do wonder, maybe the testament to all of this is, has a woman found you so insatiable because of your odd sense of humor, or perhaps your radical sense of humor, that you've consummated relationships because of it? And maybe that's
or a man. Or a goat.
You got to realize I put myself at risk doing what I do, but I think I create catharsis for people. And if you're angry with me, you're hanging on to words too much. Let it go. That's my opinion.
Hold on. I want to call Blue Ocean, who says, it ain't terrorism, it's freedom of speech. You're a bunch of snowflakes. American parties should be sued for recording people without their consent. Listen, I don't know if you knew this, Blue Ocean, but everything you ever have said on this app has been recorded. Period. So, if you don't like that, you shouldn't be on this app.
Also, who goes in an audio app where anyone can be listening to you or recording you and is not careful with what they say? I mean, you should always, whether you're in Clubhouse or outside of Clubhouse.
To answer your question, more than half the app.
Well, yeah, but that's the problem. I mean, like, even in your own life without an audio app or without a phone in your face, you should always be responsible for the things that you put out there. So maybe this teaches personal responsibility to people.
Well, then that makes this a side.
I don't think it's a matter of necessarily it being about responsible about what you're saying. It's just having a choice as to whether you want to be able to share your thoughts, ideas, and feelings with the masses. Hang on. If you want to share them with the masses, okay, then you have the option to do so. For example, if a room has been set to replays only, you have the choice of whether you go up there and you want to be able to have your voice recorded, right, for everybody to be able to replay. Okay, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, you have a choice. Don't come to Clubhouse and talk about your intimate stuff. If you want to have intimate conversations, going to Wave,
whether you go into those rooms or you don't go into those rooms, or you go up on the stage, or whether you don't go up on the stage, and that is a person's choice. It's not a matter of whether they go on the fucking app or not, for Christ's sake. Okay, but what the point which you're making here is that regardless of whether you make the choice to be able to go up on stage in a recorded room with people like John, okay, who choose to be able to record and stream other people's thoughts, ideas, and feelings, right, without consent, and then to have it commercialized, that is the issue.
It's not commercialized. I'm not making
It's
a
not
fucking penny
commercialized.
off of this, mate. I'm sitting here in my underpants in my mom's basement, drinking a Miller High Life, smoking a joint, bro. You're such a critic, mate. What a critic.
If anything, he's losing money with this. Have you seen the amount of phones
Exactly.
he's got in his? He's got like 30 fucking phones.
I know, it's crazy.
Congressman Kitover, have you captured me gesturing in any way to Issa, like any flirtatious things I've said to her in past rooms, or overtly hitting on her or anything like that? Just curious. I think he's looking to see.
No,
No,
sometimes he just
I would
goes
really
to
love it
toilet
if
and
people
then
were
comes
like,
back.
yeah, let's like actually record this and put it in the room title and create content together instead of barking at each other like wild dogs every single day. I mean, can we work together? This is why communication should be revolutionary in the sense that people can organize outside of the traditional communication network. But there's no organizing on this app. There's just road raging, people getting their dopamine for their, afternoon lunch desire. Like, there's nothing intelligent happening here. It's a fucking roast
Unless
show.
you
It's comedy. Can everybody stop taking it so seriously?
If you guys think that you're special, you're not. One day I went into his room and he was streaming a conversation of his mom with his sister into Clubhouse. So he just does this all the time. Yeah, he was.
Well, we all have to take into consideration these aren't private rooms. Everybody can come in and listen to you if you're talking about, your sexual kinks or your depression or any of this type of shit. Like, if you're going to come on here and talk about this shit and get upset and feel like somebody's streaming it, I mean, there's dozens of people in the audience that are listening to you. So
it's just selective
it's
outrage.
a public outrage.
I'm the scapegoat. I'm the Pepe. You can cast all your hate and anger and frustration into me. I can catch it all and just throw it right back at you.
Does your mom and your sister know that you're streaming your private conversations into Clubhouse?
Are you serious? You don't think they look at my YouTube and know that every single time they talk to me on the phone, there's a chance that I'm streaming them?
The funniest thing is people are paying fortunes for SEO and GEO, and it's like the chance that we're even getting exposure and visibility out of it is slim to, I don't want to say slim to none to hurt it, Congressman Kitover's feelings, but the truth of the matter is people are paying money to have the most ridiculous things about them heard and seen. So we should, in some ways, maybe we need to be grateful.
You went in the Matrix.
No, I think radical transparency is essentially the greatest way to conduct everything. If you can, it takes a huge burden off of you to relieve yourself of this professional social media presence or puissance. It's all artificial. And so when somebody live streams themselves and they record these open, candid conversations, the thing is, no one even looks at my shit. My one YouTube channel's got 600,000 views. That's nothing. And people who listen on this on random YouTube live, they don't even speak English. They're from fucking Bangladesh. Look at the comments. Nobody cares about what I do, Ro. It's my artwork. It's my artwork. I do paintings. This is the cutting edge. What I'm doing now is the smartest thing I can do. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's no different than somebody just standing out on the sidewalk and videotaping people as they're talking. Like, it's legal. He's allowed to do it. I mean, if you don't want to talk about shit in public, then go somewhere private. Make the room private. Don't let anybody go in there, or just get off the app and talk.
He's from Australia. He's not from London. He's never been to Speaker's Corner.
I know. I mean, the United States, you can record somebody. I can stand up with a cell phone and watch two people having like a personal conversation on the sidewalk. There's nothing they can do.
That's
exactly what's going on here.
Public, Rich, that's out.
This is a public social media app.
We're in a no, it's not a public at all. Okay.
It's public in the sense that people can, or everybody in the audience. The terms and conditions say that he can do it.
Okay, it's got terms and conditions.
Yeah, and they said that he can do it.
No, they did not say.
Yeah, they did.
No, they did not.
Bro,
they made anonymous accounts for no reason.
Bro, the point is the now is all important. I'm going to say it again. The now is all important. And who am I causing harm to right now? Anyone? Anyone here being harmed by my YouTube live right now? Does anybody feel any harm?
Yeah, I don't want you recording. I don't want you streaming it. I don't want my voice recorded. And I know there are a bunch of other people who feel exactly the same. I'm sure of it.
Okay, anybody else in the room, speak up, because one person's opinion versus my opinion neutralize it. Anybody else here not want to be recorded by me on my YouTube live?
I'll tell you what, is there anybody else in the room who feels differently to what I've just said? Does anybody else give consent to being recorded and streamed?
Go ahead. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to be on my YouTube live. Put a 2 in the chat if you do not want to be in my YouTube live. Again, number 1 for you want to be in my awesome YouTube live because it's so awesome and so much fun. Or number 2, you do not want to be in my YouTube live because you hate my fucking guts. Put a number 2 in the chat if you hate me and you want to see my YouTube live ended and canceled and it's a wasted time. Or put a 1 in the chat if you love it and you love it. Thank you very little.
There we go. There we go.
Bro.
And the survey says...
Hold on. Shut up, John. Bro, what can we do to stop it?
No, 0. But there's no harm in actually, in speaking out about it and just being really straightforward about it as well. There's nothing you can do. Technically, there is absolutely nothing you can do about it, apart from starting off private rooms, that ensures there's a greater level of ensuring that the room is not going to be streamed if you have trusted or semi-trusted people in there. That's pretty much what you can do about it.
I'm going to explain something.
How would it encourage you? I mean, how
Bro, I want to explain something to the people in the chat, bro. So,
yeah.
KK, it says, remove him from the room. So here's the issue. I can remove the account that's on the stage right now. The issue is that if you look down in the others in the room, the one with the fingernail polish, that's also his account. So even and it doesn't allow me to remove that one. So even if I remove the account that's on the stage, he's still able to stream it. There's nothing I can do at all.
Exactly. So why are you gonna get?
So it's a me problem. It's my attitude, I guess, my personality that you hate so much because it can't be my artwork, right? Is it the art or is it the man, Rohan?
Stop calling it art, dude. You're dumb.
Oh my God. Okay. Art is about creation. You're about duplication. There's nothing artistic about what you do. I admit that you're actually quite a funny guy. In fact, most people actually laugh at your idea. So who the fuck?
Why is it art?
Who's talking? Devin, I was just in the middle of explaining exactly that.
Huh?
Yeah, I was saying exactly that. There's nothing artistic about it. It's duplicating
I'm not saying it's not
thoughts
art.
and ideas and feelings, and there's nothing else to it. There's nothing artistic about it.
I'm not saying it's not art. I'm conversing with American and asking him a question. Why does he think it is art?
Yeah, art is a very generalized word, just like the term God. I think everything is art and everything is God. Does that make sense?
Okay, so
what is
everything
art?
is art.
What is a woman?
His argument is that everything is art, so how could this not be art? Okay.
I mean, some people call it art to put a banana in a frame, in a wall at a museum.
Well, I'm framing a camera lens on tripods. You telling me that this is not art? You go to the movies, right? That's done with cameras on tripods. I'm doing the same thing in my fucking mom's basement, drinking Miller High Life, smoking a joint. And I'm running for Congress. Go to johnforcongress.com right now and give 10, not 11, 10, not $9 to the campaign to elect John Kitover.
That it is not art. I did not say that it is not art. I only ask you to defend your claim.
that it is art, and your explanation is that everything is art. Okay, that's your explanation.
Well, as a professional artist, sorry, I'd like to chime in. I'm a big fan of his work.
It's comedy mostly.
And Sarah is a turnaround, right? Because he grew on. He grew on you.
He does grow on you. He's funny, and he captures quite incredible rooms, and I think it's great.
See, I know some people like it.
I'm serious and don't like
sometimes he's annoying. I kick him out of the rooms, and I know he's gonna come back, and it's fine. You know, like, you just need to learn.
You need to listen to what Mojo said. I'm providing a service. This is a service. I am recording more than you can even take in, but I give you highlights and edits, and people rely on me for catching up. I'm literally a production company over here, and I get no appreciation, and people want to do all kinds of fucked up shit to me, and I think what I do is a great service.
No, because recording people doesn't take much effort. It just means having like 8 different cell phones. Not that hard.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Marshall.
Marshall's got 50. He's got 52, 53 cell phones.
Well, the art of it is being selective, right? Like, if he captures certain things, like if he captures a woman unfairly calling me a misogynist, I call that art, but someone else may find it, may object to that. But subjectively, I consider that art, and I might give my consent in advance for that kind of a thing. But other things...
Okay, you can't speak for him. He's the artist, or he claims to be the artist.
Right, but I'm just saying that...
What his creation is getting people out of their own control and emotionally triggered, and he shows everyone that nobody's in control of their own emotions.
This has nothing to do. First of all, he said you don't even understand what he's doing. What he's doing has nothing to do with exactly what he's doing has nothing to do with what you just said. First of all, he's entertaining himself. That's first and foremost. Secondly, if he captures something that's good content and goes viral, out of all of the hours that he's recording, he just needs one thing. You got these little fucking snot-nosed kids in the Midwest doing stupid-ass dances, and they fucking go viral? He's got, like, people crashing out talking about killing people. Eventually, one of them is going to go viral. One of them is going to go viral. And when it does, we're all going to look back and we're going to say, he's a genius. I hate to admit it, because back when Clubhouse actually gave me the tools to remove people that were recording content, I was not thinking of the value that it could provide. I was just thinking about the fact that he's encroaching on my right to organize a room where we don't record content. And so definitely his will and my will were conflicting. The app has taken all of that away and said, we don't give a fuck. If the app doesn't give a fuck, I now have a choice. My choice is I could be a little bit more respectful on the app. I could have boring conversations, or I can continue fucking cussing people out and having fun the way I like on the app, or I could not be on the app at all. The app has presented those choices to me. They presented other choices for him. The thing that I think everybody's missing, the people that support what John's doing, the people that think that what John's doing is ridiculous, is the fact that because he's done this service of taking this content and putting it in a repository that exists on the web, he's done the work for you. All you have to do is go and source that content now, repurpose it any way you choose, and I would imagine that you will find a way, a more useful way than he has, to be able to, if you want to monetize it, if you want to expose people, whatever you want to do with it, the world is your oyster. John has actually provided a fucking service, and I can't believe I'm saying this, because if I had the tools, I'd remove him. But because I don't, I have to live with it. And now that I've accepted that I cannot change it, now I'm looking at how can my life be benefited by the work that this guy's putting in. And there's a lot of fucking ways. There is a lot of fucking ways. In fact, I'm hoping that just one arrest, put some fucking Nazi in a fucking prison cell. That, to me, would justify all of the fucking times that he's thrown my name in a YouTube channel, created fake accounts on this app with my name, put the avatar, everywhere on the internet, whether it's on Twitter. I mean, he's done a lot of. John, am I wrong? You've trolled me more than anybody on this app. Is that correct?
I think so. I think in terms of like wanting to recreate you and publish you across the interwebs, like you were my brand for many months, like until Adrian Dittman took over, but then you also left. But you created a lot of content, and I mirrored you as much as I could. And this was prior to Anonymous, so I had to keep creating burners, but buying so many burner phones and creating more YouTubes and more Instagram, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And in my work life, I have created marketing automation, ad tech tools that made a lot of money spamming Google. But this is a manual labor operation here. But having all these accounts and all these phones, it all synergistically worked to create this massive Clubhouse database of really a lot of edits, because a lot of my work is in the short section. And you can go to my YouTube account now. It'll take you forever to go through all the content. There's fucking 20,000 videos now. And I just sit here all day long and I'm just like, do I go to X? I'm constantly sourcing and going to rooms and trying to listen. And it's a lot of fucking work. So I hope you enjoy this incredible service that I have provided all of you who now have a much larger language model to go back and say, you know what? This app was a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the staunch, definition of what art is. I mean, I watched a guy that took like 10 buckets and filled them up with water and then pushed them over and they all slammed on the ground. And everybody started clapping. And I'm like, this is fucking art. So if that's fucking art, then what John is doing is definitely fucking art.
But it's comedy too, and it's political. I'm trying to be social. And if you're social, you're political. And I'm hyper social. Go to John Kitover on Instagram. Go to Instagram.com/John Kitover. Add me right now as
John,
your new
how
friend.
It's art is people actually follow you. Like you have religious fucking followers like MacDual and fucking Beaver and fucking Doc.
Wait, hold on. Listen, bragging about Beaver following you is not a fucking brag.
I'm just saying.
That's like saying you got some fucking like groupie that came to the backstage and wanted to fucking rub one out for the performance. Beaver's like the fucking bottom barrel person on this goddamn app. Like that is not a brag at all.
Hey, he's got groupies. That's all I'm saying.
How did it come about that Edmund is here on stage? May I ask that?
I'll tell you, there's been a process of, first of all, it's the app itself that opened the door for this. When the app created these anonymous accounts that you guys pay for, which is hilarious.
I don't.
For those of you that do pay for it, you morons, it's created this opportunity where he can now have one account for each room that he wants to go in and record that you can do nothing about. So that was when I accepted it. Then once I accepted it, I started going and looking at, well, let's see what he's actually doing. And then I saw some of the things that he was streaming that I thought, wow, that's actually a really good idea. When he's streaming the people that are talking lovingly about terrorists and their desires to see Jews harmed, I think that streaming that content and making sure that that law enforcement communities can have access to that to me trumps any sense of privacy that I used to care about. Because again, if I had my choice, if Clubhouse gave me the tool, I would remove the anonymous accounts. I would totally do that.
mainly because my preference would be that we don't have replays on and we don't have people recording it. Although somebody could do a screen record, and so that would take a little bit of extra work. But here's how he got to the stage is I've been talking about this for a while, about how like my mindset around him has changed. And then I think Rich was the one that said, hey, can you unblock him? And then I had to go and search my block list to find which blocked account he was referring to. And I unblocked him, and he came up, and we had a conversation, and it was a normal conversation. It doesn't mean that, look, I totally get why people are frustrated with the whole I don't consent. Like, I don't know what you're going to do about it. I think what we have to do is we have to take this, learn to live with it, and then figure out ways that you can benefit from it. And I'm seeing more and more ways that it could be beneficial. And so why fight the system?
You take it, you enjoy it. Yeah.
And listen, I know that I have been saying this for a long time, but he's actually an interesting dude. Like, when you have real conversations with him, he's actually one of the smartest persons here in Clubhouse.
And he's an American hero.
He reads a lot, and his takes are really on point. I mean, it's just that he triggers everyone's nervous system, but yeah, he's not bad. Sometimes he goes a little bit crazy. You need to kick him out of the room because all he's doing is yelling like a crazy person. But when he's actually normal, he can be pleasant.
I try to be funny. I like comedy. I like art. I like politics. I like everything that everybody else likes, but I also like recording Clown House. And that gives me a little bit of an edge over people in terms of creating this database of people, and people really resent that.
For your mental sanity, you should try to, compartmentalize a little bit and maybe create schedules for yourself, because I've told you, you know what he does? He leaves the phones on in the rooms while he goes to sleep. Can you imagine a sane person listening to that?
Issa, I'm recording Amir's room. They go till 5 a.m. while I'm sleeping, and you're calling me crazy?
Well, but you have that noise outside your
No
room.
way. I have my AC running. I have 2 thick doors. My house is big. I don't hear their shit when I go to sleep. Are you crazy? Why the fuck would I torture myself?
Well, that's what you do.
Yeah, don't let John make it sound like he's some poor broke man sitting in a little hut, sitting in that big ass fucking castle he's got there, selling all those fucking dispensaries there, John.
I mean, at least he does yoga. That is much more than a lot of people do in Clubhouse.
Listen,
I
was going to say, recording Clubhouse requires no work at all. You literally click a couple buttons and look at all the chaos and fun we get to have because of what I'm doing.
The noise, Edmund. It's the noise.
What if nothing goes viral, but you uncover a plot to take down the Sears Tower? I mean, you would be a hero, right? I mean,
yeah, it'd be a fucking hero.
We would be your biggest fans.
Well, I'll tell you what, you may not like the flip side of that, because, go to John Kitover Podcast on YouTube. It's youtube.com/@John Kitover Podcast. You can see a room where Issa is in, and she's talking to the awesome guys in the Bitcoin room, and they're talking about the Epstein list. And so if you listen to that conversation from the Bitcoin room, it's got 800 views now. You might learn something, or you might learn nothing.
And so people can search for it. So now that people have been talking about this, if somebody wanted to find I want to find the lefties, where's that shit at? It's too hard to search through all this shit. And I know you don't want a lot of work on this, but maybe you could find somebody that would be interested in helping you do that stuff, because if people could search for it, I can tell you this, I would go to your channel if I could easily just, sort by show me the lefty shit. So then I can just grab the content that I laugh at, and then I would just rebroadcast it in these rooms.
Also, you've inspired me. My YouTube, I had Brandy Roderick, Playmate of the Year, Baywatch model. That was the last person I interviewed on my podcast. Without you introducing me to the potential for YouTube, I wouldn't have created my own programming.
See, I'm providing a valuable service to the users of Clownhouse. Everything that you've never seen, you can just type in John Kitover on YouTube, and you can come across 30 YouTube accounts of you talking. Literally, people in this room talking and talking and talking and talking. Over 20,000 videos of people talking. Are they talking about something, or are they talking about nothing?
What would you say, John?
I mean, another person that records every single room is Monica, but she uses the in-house system, which is the replays. And so you tell me, when you compare the contents of both, when you compare the contents of both, tell me which one makes it for more interesting content. Is it Monica's rooms that are recorded with consent and people, I don't know, like behaving like they're in a classroom, or Edmund's?
Oh, also, Monica, anytime that you've ever told me to check the Discord, I've never done it. Not one time.
See, this is the most fun you can have for free.
How many replays do Monica get of her rooms, and how many replays do Edmund get of his rooms?
Monica gets more plays of her replays than you do of yours.
Of who?
You.
I don't do replays, honey.
Well, this is the point. Monica likes replays, just like Edmund likes to record rooms. Well, why the shade on Monica?
I'm not throwing any shade. What I am saying is that is another form of recording rooms, but it's less exciting.
She's
I'm just comparing the things.
No. What you're missing here is that Monica does give people the knowledge that she's recording. Now, what you're saying is that secret recordings are more fun. The secret aspect of it is the part that I used to.
I'm talking about comparing the services.
Hold on. The secret aspect was the part that I was challenging because he was doing it without the consent. But now that you can't kick the anonymous accounts out, then everybody just has to accept that everything's being streamed. Once upon a time, we didn't have to accept that. Once upon a time, this app gave you the tools to make a decision. Hey, if I find somebody that's recording it, can I take an action against them that would prevent that? I actually like having those tools at my disposal. Maybe it's because I'm a control freak. Maybe it's because I think that that informed consent matters. That being said, the app itself has their own rules and the own tools that they provide. And so if I'm going to stay on here and run rooms and have conversations, then I have to assume at all fucking times that it's being recorded. And to assume anything else is just crazy. That wasn't always the case.
You didn't accept it before. Some of us have accepted it 5 years ago since we realized that it was unbeatable.
Some of you didn't appreciate freedom quite as much as I do. Some of you don't mind people recording without your consent because freedom's not something you're used to. And I can understand. I can understand your
allowing others to do what they want and not trying to be authoritarian on them. And also freedom is having personal responsibility on speaking the things that you want to be heard, and the ones that don't, just keep them to yourself. That is also freedom. Freedom comes with responsibility.
If I live stream a room, is that not me exercising the freedom of my speech
Exactly.
in a way which
freedom
may not be, traditional, but you got to push the boundaries of freedom. And if you really want to be free, I think I'm doing it.
Listen, it does not shock me that Issa, living in Europe, comes with these ideas that you should not assume that you have these freedoms. I get it. She pretends that she's this freedom lover, but she's kind of surrendered this idea of freedom. And so when people say that they would prefer to be in a room that is not recorded, they would like both the freedom of association, to not associate with the people that want to record or stream the rooms, and they would want to be able to have to be able to speak freely, knowing that everybody has consented to the conversation being maintained here in this place and not being shared, because that's the agreement and the understanding that people had. That was the contract that people were agreeing to. And so I think that the issue I have with what Issa's saying is that Issa just doesn't understand what freedom is.
Exactly. I am the one not understanding what freedom is. You think that just because you want something, people have to comply to it. You disguise your authoritarianism with freedom, and that is not what freedom is. You have the freedom to come to this app and associate with whomever you want. You have the freedom to do a private room if you don't want people to come in. But if you're doing a public room and you want to restrict what other people's agency is inside of that room, you're the one with the problem.
Well, actually, on any other platform, the law would be on my side, not just the app. The law would be on my side. Well, now you're talking about the legality of something, because I can make communism legal. I can make a lot of things legal that you disagree with. The legality is not the morality, and I think that freedom is not about legality; it's about morality.
Well,
yeah. I don't think you have a firm grasp on either, to be quite honest, respectfully.
I got terminated from an advertising technology company in Los Angeles, and I took them to like the civil rights, bullshit trial, whatever, through California. And they came totally unprepared, and the judge agreed with me, but I recorded the trial and I posted it to the internet, and it caused a lot of credibility damage to the business. And it upset them quite a bit. And so guess who shows up at my house? 2 lesbian female police officers, and my pit bull did not like them. But nonetheless, they said to me, "John, we're asking you politely, can you remove the video?" I said, "No problem, ladies." And that's all it took. So if you're gonna center me all night long, I will gladly center myself. But I would just encourage everybody here to read a book and go to the gym.
So I just have to take issue with one thing you said earlier, which was that Seinfeld is just people talking. The show Friends is just people talking. Seinfeld is artfully Jewish, and I love it. It's hilarious. It took a while for me to get into it, but I feel that it's culturally my own, and it makes me feel at home when I'm on the treadmill at the gym watching reruns of it.
No, I agree. But what I'm talking about is this word game that we play and the emotional response to words, meaning that most people can't realize that this is like a comedy show, that this app and these rooms are roast rooms. And sometimes if you're self-deprecating, you're self-roasting or you're roasting other people. Many people don't like my recordings because maybe it put them in a bad light and not as intelligent as they thought they were. There's so many ways to analyze why people hate me and hate my recordings. But I say just let it go and embrace the flow.
Maybe you should do a Kundalini rising exercise for everybody.
Okay. This is your midnight deep breathing meditation with candidate Congressman John Kitover. Take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. 10, not 11. 10, not 9. Let it go and say Grand Mojo Rising.
This is the moment when I kick him out.
No, he said, this is an example. Can you speak for all the women on stage and in the audience? This is why women find John sexy, right? It's about humor, right? Like if I was as fucking funny as John was, I would have the game that he has, and I would be as prolific a breeder as he apparently is.
He's not a breeder.
I have a lot of books in my house. I got 15 bookshelves, but the point is, take the second deepest breath of the day through your nose, hold it for 10, not 11, 10, not 9 seconds.
Stop.
Let it go and say, I am fresh. And vote John Kitover. Go to johnforcongress.com.
How many YouTube accounts have you had banned?
On Clubhouse, I would say I probably had maybe like upper
not
20s.
On Clubhouse, on YouTube, because people have followed you into YouTube and Instagram and reported you there as well.
Yeah.
And you've lost your account.
Yep, I have Andrew Meyer. Also, we forgot to get Andrew Meyer's doppelganger today, but Andrew Meyer got me kicked from YouTube because he was drunk on Purim and he was saying all kinds of crazy shit, and that really upset him, and so he got that YouTube account deleted somehow.
You know, the other genius that rivals you on Clubhouse is David B. David B. functions in ways that most people can't when they're sober, and he is so intoxicated, and he's making fortunes doing it, and it's like I'm kind of envious. I'm almost resentful that this guy.
Do not be envious of David Bobadilla, sir. Do not be envious of that man. He does not know how to handle his vodka. I mean, have you ever been to... go ahead.
What's the number one watched video that you've streamed from Clubhouse?
From Clubhouse, I'd have to search. But my number one YouTube video of all time is from $1adate.com, which was a dating startup I created. And it was called, What's the Biggest Penis You've Ever Had Sex With? I think that has like 4 million views.
No, but from Clubhouse. We don't care about your other stuff.
I'd have to look, and I have to sort by most views. So, but again, some of these accounts have 2,000 plus videos in there. You do it. I'm done. I've done all the work. You know, I provided a service, and you're still yapping at me. Do it. You do it.
Yeah, because you have your account there right in front of you. It's just a couple of clicks.
It doesn't matter.
It needs to be more sortable. Like the problem with what you've recorded, from my opinion, is that it's not actionable. Like if I said, hey, I want to go and find something interesting, I'm not going to go through all those hours to find it.
So
you need to.
I know you can create playlists, which is one way to sort it.
Well, also, if you could find one of the sycophants that you have, maybe Issa will volunteer. She seems to like you a lot, and just have them watch the video, and then in the first comment, they can do, like an audit of at the 2-minute mark they're talking about this, at the 5-minute mark they're talking about that. If you had somebody just doing that, that would be much easier. Yeah,
I agree, but again, I could hire a secretary to come in here and do 8 hours of data entry a day, but if that's technically all SEO work, and hopefully the account would grow to a few thousand and I could monetize it. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I don't know if you know Hampton Spears. I know you do. That little F word has like 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he's making like 10K a month because they are friendly to people like him. People like me, I get shadow banned. People report me on this app. My work is not valued until today. So I thank you, Dr. Mojo, for finally giving me a little bit of credibility on this piece of shit app. Thank you very much.
Just remember, Rowan values everything you do.
I know. Rohan is my number one fan. I think you're really funny, John. I think you're really smart. But I don't like the fact that you've live streamed me talking endlessly about nothing.
Edmund, do you have a donation link for your campaign? I'd like to donate.
No, not yet. The woman at the bank is giving me fucking never-ending emails. She does not want to open the account for me.
Just a real quick news break. What do you guys think of this notion? I think it's ludicrous that I've seen in some of my Jewish community groups that people are making the assumption that the guy who went to Park Avenue and shot people up was going after Jewish people just because sadly two Jewish women were killed, I think. As tragic as it is, I think that's crazy. Does anyone have any comment on this topic?
You think that's a crazy conspiracy theory? Wake the fuck up, Dr. Jordan.
I think it's how would he have known? Like,
Did you think he just like stepped up? Yeah, it was planned, coordinated, researched. It was a fucking strike. I mean, you think it was some random guy got off the train because he's fucking having a bad day? No, it's fucking sophisticated attack.
I don't know. I'm shocked. I mean, I'm very much combating anti-Semitism, but I have trouble believing this guy from Hawaii originally played football in Nevada or wherever, travels across the country, goes up to the 33rd floor or whatever, and happens to get these two people in his line of fire.
Can I tap in and say something about the recordings? That's all.
Sure.
Okay, so I learned a little while ago that if you are actually sitting in a room and you're not utilizing like another device to record, or I don't know like how the recordings go here, like to record the room, you can actually tell ChatGPT, if you have like the paid version, you could tell ChatGPT to listen to the background of your phone, and it will automatically start to populate all of the words that are being said in the room live. And so if you utilize something like that, you might be able to have a better opportunity for categorizing your content, if that, piques your interest. But I thought you might be interested in knowing that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, Roger. You want to hear one of the wild takes that Angel had
That's
yesterday?
a good idea, by the way.
She said that oral sex is cannibalism.
That was the day before.
Yeah,
Well, it is.
I
This
didn't.
is the most
Was that
ridiculous
recorded?
thing I've ever heard in my life.
Did you get that recorded, by the way? That's all.
John might have.
No, that's very smart about using ChatGPT as the actual recorder. But yeah, I mean, these are things I'd like to do. I just, it's very easy to just sit down, hit record, and live stream it. And to beat live stream recordings and the amount of data that I'm able to actually transfer through AT&T fiber, it blows my mind that I can literally record 24 hours a day for $50 a month, $60 a month with AT&T, and a $5 subscription. Like, to me, this is a business opportunity. And like, I'm actually going to invest more in this. I bought more phones, I bought more tripods, and I'm going to set up multiple stations in my house to live stream the top 3 rooms, rotating amongst X and Clubhouse. Now, the interesting thing is, like, that Bitcoin room, Issa, you may hear some random things, but just recording a 3-minute clip or a 15-second clip or a 1-minute clip of somebody saying some unique take about, say, Jeffrey Epstein or something you never heard before. Like, this is a chance to pick up on some little tidbits here and there in terms of like knowledge or intelligence or gossip, but it's really just a fucking gossip show. That's all it is.
Well, you also might have an opportunity too to take some of your content that you already have and see if ChatGPT takes your feed of that recording, so that you can then begin to categorize it. Have ChatGPT categorize it for you. But there are, as clinicians say, there are things that you could probably look into, like apps to assist you with that.
There are already more advanced tools than ChatGPT to create libraries and taggings and stuff like that. You don't need to do anything. You just need to give them access to wherever you have the library, and it will tag it.
So I just bought a new device.
Then you'll create clips with AI, and you don't have to do anything. Amazon
just bought a new company called Bee, and it's an AI recording device that you put on your wrist or on your lapel, and it records, forever, infinitely. You can just record 24 hours a day. Everything you do is being fed into this AI listener, and it documents the whole thing. So my plan is to put this thing next to my primary Anon account and then get transcripts of what everybody says as well and publish that as well.
To answer somebody's question in the chat, how do you do that with ChatGPT? So if you were to go to ChatGPT like right now and just tell it to listen to your background, then you could tap in and continue to talk and do what you're doing. But then you'll also see in your ChatGPT, it will then start to populate the words that are being said in the space. And then you can take that and, that whole byte or however long, you have it going for, and then tell it to, okay, what you've received, please begin to categorize it. You can give it, cues to categorize on, like, I think Roger was saying, like, give me all the lefty shit. Like, I want to, talk about all the leftism shit. Like, so whatever, like, start from there. But it's just, it's easy to do because all you're really doing is just giving a prompt. But I don't know too far much into the technical other applications that are out there.
So I got a question. Is Blue in the audience? Is that Mikhail, potential terrorist supporter Mikhail? Because I can recognize my nipple anywhere in Blue's PTR. Blue, is that you, Mikhail? Oh, he's been hypnotized, I think. He's worried now about all the terrorist shit he said on this app. So now he's like, I'm not even going to say one more word lest they get one more voice recognition on my dopey, stupid accent.
No, Mikhail is the guy, if you open his profile, Mikhail is the first one that he had a conversation with.
Well, Mikhail took a screenshot of my titty. He likes to play it here for everybody.
Yeah, but if you see the screenshot of the screenshot.
You see, what you fail to understand is that by having a picture of my titty on your cell phone doesn't make you cooler. It makes you the beta cuck. Anyways, where is Hunter Shackelford?
She retreated after she got caught up in some scam that she got caught for.
Who?
Hunter Shackelford.
Oh, but that was years ago. I haven't seen her around for like 3 years.
You didn't happen to hear the Isaac Hayes room today where everything in this white man's world is a scam except for Isaac Hayes?
Was that on Fanbase or was that on here?
It was on here, and there was an African-American gentleman in the stage who was calling him out saying, this motherfucker, he just runs investment scams, taking your fucking money, loser. It was he got called out so bad, it was fucking awesome.
You should at least create different channels for different type of topics. So you have, for example, one for terrorists where you put all Amir's rooms. Then you have another one for conspiracy theories. Then you have another one just for politics.
Why for conspiracy theories? There's nobody on this app.
I don't know. Whatever. I mean,
is there anybody on this app that says anything interesting?
I don't think anymore. But well, I don't know. For example, the Epstein stuff, like people have got many theories about it.
Yeah, but it's a bunch of dum-dums talking about it.
That's fine, but that's what creates content, right? Either a dumb thing or an outrageous thing or a smart take.
Listen, if I don't win the primary in March, maybe I'll start to diffuse my name from the index, and because I'll probably be looking for a job. My last day with the IRS was in May of this year. I was a facilities consultant. And so basically I opened and closed IRS offices across the Midwest for the past 5 years. And let me tell you, I've been to a lot of IRS offices, revenue officers, revenue agents. They need to clean their fucking office. Instead of spending millions of dollars building them new fucking offices. These stupid employees who don't do shit to begin with need to clean their fucking office because it's filthy. And these fat fucking tax collecting pigs sit there in their filth and they want multi-million-dollar offices built for them. Meanwhile, there's no fucking analytics. And if we invest money here and we invest, it's just spend. So I'm running for Congress. All of my Clubhouse content I feel is valuable information. And, I hope everything is branded for John Kitover for Congress. So that's my goal, and that's what I'm doing.
Good for you.
You could go on an entire tour talking about cleaning your office. It's like Jordan Peterson.
But John, could you, in the future, think about maybe the top, 3 or 4 houses that you tend to record here on this app, and then just put the content in a way that okay, hey, let's go see what's happening in the Muff. Let's go see what's happening in Chillism. Let's go see what happened in Patty's room, whatever the fuck that one's called. If it was that easy, then I think you would get more people from Clubhouse going to YouTube to find this shit. Because I want to hear all the dumb takes that the lefties have so that I can create content. They would probably love to hear the stupid takes that people have in this room so they could go and play around with it. But it just needs to be more searchable, more easily to find what you're looking for.
I agree. It's a challenge, but it's just raw, and I can chop it up into shorts, but the live streams are crazy. The amount of live streams I have, the amount of information I've uploaded into YouTube by essentially recording, phone to phone. It's unbelievable. Some of these YouTube accounts I have thousands of live streams of and you're never going to sit there and go back and watch that shit. You'd be fucking retarded to waste your time that way because it's not interactive, but it's what I've done. And, I don't know, it's probably stupid, but eventually I'm going to pull the plug on what I'm doing here. I'm not going to sit here and record Clownhouse the rest of my life. At least I don't think I will.
Well, again, if you are interested, just give it a try in regards to taking some of those YouTube posts and dropping it into your ChatGPT. Ask it for a prompt that you're looking for and see what results you get and try to play with it a little bit.
Edmund, I struggle listening to recordings, even on Clubhouse or even podcasts. There's nothing better than while it's going live. So, what does it really say to the people that watch your restreams? Because I can't stand a replay, let alone a recording on a YouTube.
I agree.
I've never watched one of them.
I agree. I mean, that's why I say it's not really one-to-one. It's not like I'm doing a perfect screen record. First of all, it's phone to phone. Zena Mini on here does do screen recordings through Club Deck, I think. And his are kind of interesting. But to me, this is a closed community. There's no new users. Is there any party hats in this fucking room? No. So this is a closed community that does not grow. And even the passerbys on my live streams on YouTube, they don't know what they're listening to. And I think sometimes people are just shocked to see all these phones and saying, a lot of people are like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
But that's also because people don't know how to take the value out of the rooms sometimes, sometimes you have these rooms that go on for hours. Sometimes people are doing sleepovers in these rooms and there's so much being said.
Hey, hold on. I think Love T, he's in the chat. He might have some information on Hunter. So Love T, come up here. We're looking for Hunter. Get up here. Go ahead, Angel.
Yeah. So if you were able to utilize some of these tools to help take out the value that is actually in the room, you might have a better take on some of your social media efforts. You're doing the YouTube and stuff. Oh, let me close my mic and let Lefty talk.
I have no information for you guys. I'm just asking, why are you looking for this person?
Do you know who Hunter is?
I've heard the name.
She's in my PTR.
Is that your answer?
No, I'm just saying she's in my PTR. I'm just showing you who she is.
It's kind of like if you
So
know
why are you looking for
who
her?
the person is, if you know who she is, then you get it, and you wouldn't need to ask.
So, did she have a C-section, or is that what is that on her stomach?
That's
Okay, I think I understand. I think I understand what type of room this is.
Oh, you do? What kind?
What kind of room is it?
That's one of those guys that's queer.
Hey, straight.
I watched that Hunter Shackleford video. The Pepe was added, but it's funny as hell.
See, I think Pepe's actually a comedian, and he doesn't even know it. But he is an absolute racist, bigot piece of shit. But nonetheless, I don't know if you know who Kim Cutts is, but Kim Cutts is one ratchet ass motherfucking bitch. And if you never been to a Kim Cutts experience on this app, you have not heard the comedy yet. I don't know, Mojo. Do you know Kim Cutts?
Yeah.
She's excellent.
Yeah, you're not a true Clubhouse user if you have not heard Kim Cutts.
I don't find her as entertaining as when Millie used to do her rooms. I thought Millie was I don't typically find women funny. I think women, for the most part, are not funny. But Millie was funny.
We're not supposed to be funny.
Was funny?
We're
What
supposed to
happened to
be
Millie? She's still alive, right?
Yeah, she does rooms every once in a while. I can still see her. Like last time I saw her was probably like 3 weeks ago.
When you say she was funny, do you mean like in a Schadenfreude way, where like you found her misery to be funny, or did you find her to be, entertaining? Like, because she's self-destructive in a very, very deep way.
When she would fucking crash out and fucking shout at the top of her fucking lungs, "You $2 whore, suck my dick from the back," that shit to me was funny. I don't care. That's in my wheelhouse for funny.
Yeah, I remember you love those things.
I love
She
it.
doesn't now that, like, I know when she started getting sober, she said she hates to hear that. She doesn't like.
Yeah.
She doesn't like when people found that behavior to be funny. She thought it was bad herself.
Well, let's just say she's got a great personality and leave it at that.
Yeah, I really like her.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what is it that we have learned most about our fellow Americans on this app? Anybody?
No. Oh.
Nothing is surprising anymore.
I wasn't going to say it, but I am going to say it. Many of them are socially suicidal. That's what I think.
Dawn likes tacos.
I do. I do.
I like tacos too.
Oh my God. Well, let's come over. Everybody come over to my house. We'll cook this weekend. You're invited. Okay?
Do you think this app had any role whatsoever in helping Donald Trump get elected?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Who said yes?
Angel.
Yeah. This app doesn't have, even at its peak, didn't have enough people that could move the needle in any state.
Well, Augustus, I'm going to work with him on my campaign, and I'm going to pay him to do some creatives for me. And the point is, it's possible that him and his wife helped Kennedy get into office. And if Kennedy turned all his votes and encouraged all of his people to vote for Trump, in that small way, I think this app did commit regime change against Kamala Harris and Tim
But
Walz.
what about Andrew Meyer and Ali Alexander and all of these guys?
They didn't help Trump get in there.
I'm not
They
saying
don't
they
work
helped
for
Trump, but I'm saying that they
Kennedy.
moved a lot of people out of Clubhouse. Are they the connections?
Yeah.
Ali Harris prior, he was able to rally a bunch of people.
Ali moves a lot of people.
Clubhouse, y'all are selling yourself on a big idea. Clubhouse.
Hey, those of you that still co-sign for Ali are fucking hilarious. You guys really like those groomers.
I don't speak with Ali since that thing that happened was like, I think, December 2022.
What about his?
I think.
What about his background prior to that? That didn't give you a clue.
Well, I didn't even know who Ali was. We became friends when we were here, but I didn't know anything about him. Just like I didn't know anything about a lot of other people that ended up being very popular and having a lot of influence.
With Ali the
I had no clue. And then after being in Clubhouse is when I started learning who was who. But I didn't know.
Are we talking about Ali the atheist?
No, Ali Alexander, the gay pedophile that helped to organize Stop the Steal, who was a convicted felon prior to that, and people that hang out in quote-unquote conservative Clubhouse used to be under his spell because they couldn't tell a fraud when they saw one.
This is my first time actually ever hearing about this person. I didn't even know that they were on this platform.
What? Yes, you did, Angel.
Oh, if you guys like disgusting human beings, Roybus wants
Did
to
I? Wait. Why doesn't this person's name ring a bell to me? Like, I've been here since season 1.
Because his name wasn't Ali.
You had to go into the rooms with like less than 20 people that where the conservatives would do a little circle jerk, and guys like Andrew Meyer and Ali Alexander would sit there and preach to the people, and they would bow down and lick their balls. That was what was happening. It was you know how you have Trump sycophants? These were sycophants for Trump supporters. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that's fair.
He went and he recruited a couple of like the really naive, impressionable young. They weren't even conservatives. They were just young, impressionable people, and he recruited them, to join him in whatever his evil doing was. And you don't see those people on the app anymore.
Well, speaking of sicka, let me tell you what I'm sick of. Listen, how do you think, do you care when you say something controversial? Do you care how your listeners react, or do you just not give a shit?
I don't say controversial things.
Oh my God! What you just did, licking their balls or something? Like, come on, that's not controversial.
No, because it actually happened.
No.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
I never say anything controversial either.
I was there.
In some of those rooms where people kissed his ass.
They would sit there.
Nobody licked nobody's balls.
Listen, you guys would sit there, and any time the person was loud, you guys, that was like the measuring stick for who is the most conservative. You guys started with Alex New York, who's not a conservative, by the way. Then you guys went into the Ali Alexander camp. Then you guys got into the Andrew Myers camp. And anytime there was somebody on the app that actually might have done something in politics, somebody like Marshall or maybe Stephen Bader, you guys would treat them like shit. You guys are fucking weird. Clubhouse conservatives are amongst the most retarded people I've ever met in my fucking life.
To be fair, Marshall's not
Marshall's been on here a long time.
To be fair, Marshall has done more for the Republican Party than the entire rest of those conservative clubhouse rooms combined.
Can you vouch for that, Marshall? That'd be really.
Of course I had. As you know, Joe, I've been in campaign politics for about a decade.
And Stephen was a badass, by the way.
Look, Stephen finally got his respect. You guys used to fuck with Stephen, and you didn't realize how in the game he was. You guys thought because he was the redheaded kid from the middle states that that he wasn't shit. He didn't have the big over the top personality. He wasn't grooming kids. He wasn't sucking cock. So you guys didn't like them the same way that you did the other guys. As long as your conservative heroes are sucking cock and talking loud, those are the guys that you like.
That's not true. Stephen has been my friend since day one.
I have a video.
And Marshall as well.
Wait,
So,
Don, how
I
many
don't
people
think
are
I'm
still
like-
friends with Royvis after he said that he wanted to fuck my son?
Oh.
Do you remember that crash out?
Wait, who was it? Who was it?
Wait, wasn't that
Royvis.
that Indian guy?
No, he's not Indian.
Damn, he said that too? That's
I
crazy.
didn't know that.
You don't remember that, Don?
No, I didn't. Didn't hear
He had
about
a
that.
We got in an argument.
He had a cope session a couple weeks ago for himself because I guess he got into it with Andrew or somebody else, but he had to have a room to pacify himself because he was that emotionally upset about everybody knows these conversations are so stupid. It's unbelievable. And that's why I think recording them has some value because it is it's like a mini high school or something, I mean, but again, like Mojo said, when somebody from this app, commits a crime and they were known on here or something, I mean, it all gets flushed away in the next news cycle. What is El Normo going to talk about tomorrow at 9 a.m. in a room? Issa has put together some of my favorite rooms in the itty bitty titty community. With Rabbi McDickerson. It's such a nice melange of different viewpoints. It is global in nature. And I think,
I can't stand McDickerson. I just like him worse than I dislike you when you're unserious.
Well, wait, who was, anyways, I'm just saying that the arguments, the rivalries, the hatred, it's all just a stage. It's all drama. And I hope everybody has enjoyed it. I've tried to document as much of it as I possibly can because I know this is limited. I don't think that I'll be here forever. I don't think you'll be here forever. But, I'm not saying this is goodbye.
Not to correct you, but we have to stop saying that this is staged. These are people's actual personas. They're not.
No, I agree.
And then I bring all the people from the different corners of Clubhouse for you so that they clash for your content.
Yeah, and it has to be controversial content. Otherwise,
the clash is what gets the numbers and what gets the attention. Let me just say, the clash is what gets the attention. But if you've been here long enough, and if you've really tapped into the various spaces, even in some of the other side, whatever, I'll sum it up as that. You begin to really.
You're referring to the blacks?
Yeah, those rooms are.
I'll just say the other side. You get to hear these fucking personas loud and clear. You can kind of call a shot, ahead of time if you really pay close attention. People actually, it's weird. I have an ear.
A lot of the shit that's being said on here isn't something that somebody would say to you dead to your face. I mean, that's just a fact. So when you're, taking some of these spaces, and I think, you're trying to this is to the person who is recording them. If you're taking some of these spaces and you're trying to record them and give them to people who aren't cultured here, it's going to become,
a different take on content or maybe the message you're trying to bring across.
I'm content harvesting, but I will say the Freddie Roosevelt rooms a couple of years ago, maybe those were very funny rooms. That guy Freddie Roosevelt is very funny.
Yeah, Freddie's he's an original character, but again, it's a persona, but it was a very well played persona.
Well, I mean, I think this is also an ESL, language training platform. I think a lot of international speakers get a lot of, as JB says, grace on stage because they're not native English speakers. And they come here to interact with people who speak English proficiently. So, that's a big part of this app as well. And it's a huge fucking waste of time.
Yeah. Those rooms are funny. I sometimes listen into the rooms where I don't understand anything that they're saying, and I'm either brought up to the stage or I troll in the chat, and so yeah, I do find those rooms entertaining.
Angel, could you describe Clubhouse cultured? Because my belief it's just internet culture. It's not. There's really nothing unique about Clubhouse compared to other internet.
Everybody pees here.
So I would say this. If you're a season oneer and you've been here from the very beginning and you're still here now, we were just having this conversation on Lose Space. Like, there are people who have kind of made a certain, certain phrases or certain things or stuff that you've taken from this application and you've maybe done in real life, or said in real life, or I'll give you a phrase
like the Matrix.
Like the Matrix, or
Do you remember the guy that was used to get modded up in Million Marathon? Forget his fucking name, but he had in his bio that he was the guy that came up with land your plane and you're in the Matrix, which was a complete fucking lie. I forget his fucking name.
It's a girl.
Hold on. No, it was a dude that had it in his thing. I'm trying to think of his fucking name. If you give me a second, I'll think of it. He was like a big black dude. He had no fucking personality, and for whatever reason, they'd mod him up, and he had no claim to fame. He couldn't fucking string together words to put a sentence together. So he puts in his bio that he came up with these things, and only once did somebody call him out on it. And the most obvious thing is his profile was created a year after these sayings were even introduced into the Clubhouse.
I remember it briefly, but I also forget who you're talking about. But I do remember the conversation when he was confronted on it. But again, you guys can kind of acknowledge that there's things that I've said on here, see how that goes, right? When people say that shit to me, and then they come back and they're and they're telling, stories about themselves, and they're I said, see how that goes. And I'm thinking oh my gosh, you learned that from here. The term diabolical and how it's being used, and then you people are coming back to this application talking about their lived experience out in the world, and they're telling people that they've utilized these certain terms and phrases and shit. I don't think you're fucking nuts, but they're probably too afraid to tell you, right? So there is this difference when people tap in on here, right? They know that they could have this reckless type of persona and not really have to have any accountability for what comes with that. Now we've known the dark side has taken that too far. The way that they've so said doxxed, right? They've redefined what doxing means. We all knew what doxing was before we got the fuck on here. What doxing means now has literally become a part of that Clubhouse culture. People they're like, oh, I don't tell my family about this application because I don't want my family members to be hurt. Well, they know that there's a culture on here where their loved ones can be subjected to certain things, certain innocent, they say one thing about their kid and it turns into a whole content about somebody's child being, hurt in an odd way and stuff. The app is just, it has its weirdness, but I do think, there is a Clubhouse culture, most definitely.
MG's Darky Slave made it to Team Pool, and Nick Fuentes.
Dawn.
That's right. Remember that with the.
Yeah. Are you guys under the impression? Are you guys under the impression that those guys are popular? Like, you guys think Tim Pool's like a big name?
Well, it's more popular than your room here. I mean, a lot of people watch that. And MG's comment on Darky Slaves made it there. I thought it was funny.
What do you think Tim Pool's reach is?
A lot of things have spilled from Clubhouse and made it to more.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least he's monetizing. He's making shitload of money with his content.
Who is this?
Something that anybody can say here at Clubhouse.
Wait, who is this?
Tim Pool's claim. Tim Pool's claim is that he is the second most live stream count of political podcasts. There's for live count streams.
Yeah, I don't think so, but he's pretty big.
Well, yeah.
You're in the Matrix, Joe.
What do you guys?
It's 3.5 million between his 3 channels.
Do you guys listen to Tim Pool?
My dad does.
Never, not once. No, a clip here and there.
I like Tim Pool that much.
A clip here and there, but no.
Yeah, but it shows 3.5 million. It's 1.6, 1.5.
Yeah. So you guys remember the lies that he told about how he wasn't getting paid by RT, and then the evidence came out that he was. You guys remember the lies that he told about that?
That's all fine, but people watch him. Is the point? It doesn't matter, like all the bad things.
You're missing my point. You're missing my point. I get it. There's podcasts and people watch it. I'm talking about real influence. This guy, and the people he would have influence over. This guy told people that he did not get money from RT, and then it came out that he does get money from RT. And I would just ask, is there anybody here that takes somebody like Tim Pool serious, or gets their news from him, or thinks that he has valuable insights? I'm just curious.
My dad is also 62.
Out of curiosity,
I don't think he knows the RT shit.
And he collaborates a lot with the Daily Wire and
Russian television, Russian national television.
Yeah, what's the impact of it here in America, though, is what I'm asking.
I mean, seeing how
he's quite literally getting paid by Russian propagandists. Yeah. And Americans are like, oh man, let me eat that shit up.
Yeah, Joe, have you ever watched RT where they talk about the Ukraine war?
Hold on. If you make the argument that Tim Pool's not influential, then how could RT paying him be influential is what I'm at.
I'll tell you who he's influential with. It's not serious people. There's a certain subculture that find a guy that wears a beanie and rides a skateboard and uses small words. I think they find that refreshing because I think traditional media is being rejected, and so there's a lot of your midwits would look at somebody like a Tim Pool and they would go, "Oh man, this guy's on the front lines." I mean, I don't trust any of these people that were just a couple of years ago like far lefties. Tim Pool, far lefty. Fucking Candace Owen, far lefty. But you guys, if they say one thing that resonates with you, you don't care if they believe it. You don't care any of that. Like I would bet that there's people on this stage that are fans of both Tim Pool
and Candace Owens. I would bet there's at least
that
one
is all
person.
fine. You don't.
I would bet
they also like Tucker Carlson.
Everyone, and you can think
I would bet
everyone
there's at least
misfits,
one.
whatever you.
I would bet there's at least one person that likes.
Fine. All of that is fine, but the point here is not the quality of the information, but the fact they actually arrive to millions of people. And it doesn't matter if they are like the most retarded people, they are reaching to a lot of your nationals. The people in the US consume them. And whether you think they're dumb or not, they're the people voting, and they have influence on them.
I only like Candace Owens for two things. One, because
her skin routine.
No. I think she is. No, I'll leave that comment to myself. But I like her for two reasons. One, because I love her her little thing that she did with kind of the exposure on the organization Black Lives Matters, and I like her also because she did something with Kanye, and I love the fact that she wore the White Lives Matters T-shirt. Those are the only two reasons.
Wait, you like Kanye?
She and Kanye hate Jews. That's the only thing they have in common.
I grew up listening to Kanye.
You like his new song, Bigger Hair?
I don't listen to his new
You don't like the new song, Bigger Hair?
I've never heard it.
The Highlander song is amazing.
Yeah, it's the Highlander song.
I grew up with Kanye, so if you can just imagine just having a little bit of respect for him because of his touch on on the culture of the music, and so it's that's why I like him. But
so do you overlook the fact that he hates Jews?
I don't overlook the fact that he hates Jews, but I don't believe his hate for Jews is actually genuine. I think that he actually has a vendetta because of some of the elements that have happened to him. And again, I think that these are things that I think the things that he is, has experienced, he did kind of bring on his own. So I think some people, when it comes down to taking accountability for who the monster that they created of themselves, they run away from that like they're literally running away from terror. And some people don't, especially when we see these celebrities, sometimes they don't have someone there along their journey of their celebritorial status to kind of nurture them like how we've all been nurtured by, loved ones in our family. So when you become this new person and you're responsible for nurturing that, I think there's a lot of neglect that happens, and we do see tragedy with a lot of celebrities. I think Kanye is one of them. Hence his psychic episodes with, fucking mental health breakdowns and stuff like that.
Psychotic.
He's got fucked up.
He tried to have a loving life, like smaller.
Yeah, but he paid for his mother to have the breast reduction surgery.
After all, he was not a.
I think that's what snapped him, is he paid for his mom's breast reduction surgery. He's taking a lot of drugs and he's a bit younger. Bam. Diagnosed with bipolar. Would that have been there before? Maybe, maybe not. But,
hey guys, I got a question for Issa. Issa, how do you feel about the state of Israel?
How do I feel about what?
The state of Israel and Gaza.
I don't understand the question.
How do you feel about the situation in Gaza?
In what sense? Good. I think they deserve it. What do you mean?
Oh, okay, cool.
No, she's
finding your question, really.
How much
hold on. Issa's on the right side of that conflict. The conflict she struggles with is Russia-Ukraine. She's a big Putin stan.
Yeah, I knew there was one of the conflicts that I disagreed with her last time, but I couldn't remember. That's why I was trying to flush it out, and I was like, wait a minute, is it Israel, Palestine, or which one was it?
When you say right side, can I learn your take on it, if you don't mind briefly?
toilet. I'm just cleaning the toilet right now. I don't know. I missed it.
I'll probably just wait till you're done cleaning that toilet.
What'd you ask, Angel?
Oh, she asked, what do you mean by them being on the right side?
Oh, because of civilization. I don't know. You have one of the sides who has actually civilization and has morals and is compatible with Western values and worships life and wants to live in peace, and you have the other side who worships death, who wants to constantly be killing the people from the country called Israel. They are trying to fulfill prophecy, and they are not used to living in peace. I don't know. They can never have. They're terrible.
So again, she gets this conflict right, but if you ask her about Russia, Ukraine, all of a sudden she doesn't apply the same logic.
I think in Russia, Ukraine, both of them are thugs. And you cannot, I don't stand for the values Ukraine stands for because their president is a thug. And it's also one of the most corrupt countries in the world. And in a way, I'm sorry that they're going through what they're going through, but it's not like they get a pass just because that little bitch they have as president goes whining everywhere. That doesn't make him a virtuous man. He's very far from being a virtuous man. I'm not defending either Putin, but I don't think that Ukraine is completely blameless. You know, I think that they both got what they want to get into, and that's it. I mean, like, and you think, or you, because you believe that Russia is worse, then that makes Ukraine good, and I don't believe that.
Ukraine doesn't have to be good to be the victim of tyranny. And I think the interesting thing is that you can see clearly the terrorists attacking Israel, but when a tyrannical leader in Russia invades Ukraine, you have a million reasons why you think they're justified in it. It's fascinating. And in fact, every word that you just spoke in defense of them was exactly Russian talking points. This is their exact propaganda. And you probably heard it from Tucker Carlson because he sucks their dick.
Yeah, I have to agree with Roger on that one. I was going to ask you if you have dived, into, getting an understanding of this on your own. Delved. Excuse me, sir.
Delved. Trying to help you. Hey, it's not a fucking English class.
If you have delved into learning more about this on your own, because I don't, your response didn't seem too much of you. It sounded, like a replica of somebody.
Bark at your dog.
This is something that we thought about last time. He said, I think there's a submission.
I actually don't remember ever having fought with him.
We disagreed about something. I couldn't remember. That's why I was asking about Israel.
I don't need to agree with people all the time. The fact that we're friends or we get along doesn't mean that we have to be monoliths in public way, and I'm fine with that. There are people that are not fine with it, and they try to be authoritarian, but there are people that don't like them. I do respect people's thinking, and I don't care. I do hold different opinions than people sometimes.
I mean, I do for the most part agree with your position that they're both pieces of shit. But I do think that Russia is a bigger piece of shit, so.
Issa, are you really cleaning the toilet?
Yeah, there's definitely an echo.
Yeah,
This is not gonna help Latina fucking stereotypes when it comes to housekeeping.
It's fine. Listen, I clean toilets. I make delicious sandwiches, and I'm fine with that. I'm a woman.
Is that what you do in Switzerland, Issa?
Exactly. Listen, I'm a Guatemala. I have to honor my how do you say, my process or whatever.
Floors and windows too?
The what?
Do you do the floors and windows too?
Actually, right now I'm doing floor, and just like on the weekend I did the windows, and they're like so clean right now.
If you don't watch walls, you're not set.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was
And
just
you know
saying
what?
that
I mean, I love cleaning actually. By the way, it relaxes.
Well, I think Abby's about to tell you if you move to Vegas anytime, she might give you a
You took the words right out.
Hey, I gotta say something to Miss Lopez. Miss Lopez, when I said that the guy came up with those sayings, you said that it was a female, correct?
Yeah, who was presenting as a female, yeah.
No, hold on.
At that time, yeah. There could be two different
Roger's phone died.
No, he's PTRing. He'll be right back.
So while we're waiting for Roger, Rich, if Russia was to invade Hamas in Gaza, who would be the bigger piece of shit?
Why do you still post if you
I
can't?
really hate Putin, but I really hate the Muslims more.
No, right? So I gotta.
That's
I mean,
hard.
just since you put it out there, I got.
No, I just think Zelensky and Ukraine are. I think Ukraine's a corrupt fucking piece of shit country before the war. I think Zelensky's a huge piece of shit, but I also hate the Russian Federation more.
I just hate how, they're funneling money out of American politicians are funneling money out of the aid that we send over there. I see it as a big foreign quid pro quo, and if anything, it's paying back defense contractors that ultimately donate to American politicians.
My phone died. Hold on.
Hold
on, my phone died. I just wanted to finish this.
We figured it was.
Yeah. So read this guy's profile that I pinned above. If you go to it, this is the guy from Million Marathon that fucking would come in there, and if you look at hold on, coin the Clubhouse term "you're in the Matrix" and crashing planes. Okay, so he didn't say land the plane, but he said you're in the Matrix. Now, that is such an obvious lie. But people make these claims, and by the way, some of you guys follow this guy.
I do. Yep. Not only did I follow him, but Mark Days was, he was, you know what it is? In the spaces that Nelson had, he was more of one of the sounder voices, where his logic, tend to reason with the space. But
why did he make up a claim in his bio that's an obvious lie?
I don't know. That's on Homeboy. I have no idea, but that happened way before I even knew who Mark Days was. I've been here since day one.
People claiming the same thing, Roger, because there's also a woman claiming that she started the phrase "in the Matrix" and two other things, but totally different person then. So I apologize.
I would just say a lot of people say a lot of stupid shit on this app every day. I mean, for example, like I said, Angel said that oral sex is cannibalism. Like that was one of the dumbest things I've heard in a long time.
What?
Isn't it just attempted cannibalism?
Yeah, she said if you suck a man's dick, even if you don't swallow the sperm, it's cannibalism. And if the man eats her coochie, it's cannibalism.
Yeah, more like chewing gum. Though, like if you don't swallow it, I don't think you're eating somebody.
Oh my God. There he is, folks. It's Marcus.
Hey, I also invented In the Matrix. I've been crashing out. And more than that, hang on, I invented yelling on Clubhouse. I just want to point that out. I invented yelling as loud as you can when you're angry on Clubhouse. That's all.
Marshall, did you trademark it? Did you go and trademark it?
Do you guys remember?
Unfortunately,
do you guys remember that guy who was doing? Well, he didn't trademark their stuff. Abby, there was a guy who would. The fuck is his name? Roger. 10K.
10K cards.
10K cards. So he was like, he would take people's like
club names or house names or whatever, and he would go and get the domain for them, and then
and then try to sell it back to him.
Try to sell it back to him for like mad money though.
Dude, so he
became a big thing.
He would go through a domain broker where he'd get a discount on getting the domains, and he would get people to give him money, and he would say, "Okay, I'm gonna blow this thing up," and then he would want to know what your company name was or what your full name was, like whatever your brand was. And then he would go get a domain in that name, and then he'll go, "Look, I've secured this domain for you," and then he would sell it back to you for a profit. It was
the fun. That he got every version of what you could possibly want your shit to be.
.net.com, all the shit, bro. And motherfuckers just gobbled his cock. It was fucking so crazy.
That was a good time. It was a really good time. That one was fucking good.
It was a good business plan until I got 11K card, and then just blew him out of the water.
Do you guys remember? Well, Angel, you've been here a long time. I'm trying to think who else might have been here at the very beginning when. Do you remember before the saying, "You're in the Matrix"? What the popular saying was prior to that?
You're glitching?
Nope. In Black Clubhouse, which I spent most of my early days in. First, I came in through like some of the the whole business rooms. Then I discovered Black Clubhouse, and all they used to say was, "You're in the pipes." That was the saying.
God, Roger, that's so fucking day one.
You're in the pipes.
You're in the fucking pipes. Or something in the water, or I forgot the other ones but yeah, the fishbowl. Yeah, there's that took me way back. I forgot that one.
Or you're underwater, yeah.
You know when we first came on here, everybody used to have like those like rooms where they were like high energy and like manifestation and things like that. So I came into one of the spaces and I was like, I have this wonderful idea. I think this is going to be, something that can go really big. And it was like I wanted to come and get your guys' advice. I tapped into your space because remember you kind of had to promote yourself before people actually listen to you, right? So I was pumping myself up, and I was hoping that I can share this idea with you guys here. And the lady was like, well, let's learn a little bit more about you. Tell us your name, tell us where you're from. And I was did the whole rundown. And then this other lady taps in and she's like, well, before we let you go, there's some new people on the stage. And this guy was like, no, I want to hear what she has to say. And I'm like, okay, thank you, sir. I was like, and I immediately started talking. I was like, I have this idea, and I want to title, my house that I'm thinking about creating as Manifestation Masturbation. And the lady ran off with it, and she was like, that is such a really good idea. And she was like, can you give me some details, like what would happen? I was like, well, it's not really going to be like the moaning rooms that we have here on Clubhouse, but it's going to be people that come back and tell us their stories about their high peak and intense moments of masturbation and how it got them through their careers. I can't believe they took me serious. That was one of my best trolls, but I'm just cutting myself. Sorry, guys.
Oh my god.
Do you guys remember here? These were the old school rooms where they would do the onboarding rooms, where new members would come and it would be an onboarding room and they would sit there and they would tell you how to use the app. These were not people that worked for Clubhouse, by the way. They were people that they realized that if they do the onboarding room, if people came onto the app, they'd follow this person because they think that
it's all about the fucking follows. Do you remember when they took the followers away from us?
I got all of Japanese Clubhouse followers.
Marcus, when India came online, I remember the moment it came online, and I opened a room in Healthy Debates of all places, with titles like Vishnu, Brahma, blah blah, like whatever, and who's the most powerful, and like those rooms would get like instantly 1,000 people in the room, and then all of a sudden the people were following me, like a fuckload of people were following me that were Indian, and then I remember one day somebody saying, "Hey, do you have me blocked?" And I go, "How do I know?" Because before you couldn't even see your block list, right? And then when they made some update, you were able to see your block list. I think it was when you had a chance to make your profile private or whatever. And so somebody goes, "Oh, you got to go here, whatever." And then when I looked at the block list, I was like, "Fuck, I got a ton of people blocked." And I looked, and all of the people on the block list were all the Indian names. I never blocked those people. Clubhouse, on my behalf, went in and instituted a block because they didn't want me cavorting with them. I think what they saw was there was like 2 days in a row where I had these rooms that were the biggest Indian rooms on Clubhouse were led by me asking questions about Indian food and their gods and all this kind of crazy shit. And it was that was not what Clubhouse wanted. They wanted the Indians to have their own little thing.
Oh, you're quite right. I never knew that they did that.
Clearly saved India when you're like, this may go down as the one success Clubhouse has had.
I think they set back India 100 years at least.
You could be living in the Taj Mahal right now if they did not do that.
That's what I'm saying. That's boss. I never knew that. I'm just learning that. I didn't hear you ever say that before.
Imagine
that's horrible. That's a fucking lawsuit, man.
50,000 followers waiting for you at the airport.
Is that a lawsuit, Marcus? Is that just a lawsuit waiting to happen?
It's not remotely a lawsuit. Clubhouse don't owe you shit. They can delete you tomorrow. What's the lawsuit they're having? Is there something we relied upon? Like what?
They blocked people from.
Yeah, but they let you.
They blocked Grant
Cardone. Follow you in the first place. I mean, it's not like they stopped you from doing anything. It's just they.
But it's like racist.
You doing it in the first place.
Well, they blocked. It was interesting when I learned that Grant Cardone was actually like blocked. Like Clubhouse had blocked him from coming on the application, but it was right in and around the time where he was having that fallout with John Legere. Thought that was interesting.
You guys remember JT Fox?
Oh yeah. We all remember JT.
I got a JT Fox story for you from Chicago because he was running his bullshit consulting, seminars here, and a girl that I was dating, her sister's husband was involved in his, real estate success secret course bullshit. So he called me. I talked to him on the phone, and at the time I had owned a bunch of websites that were making a decent amount of money, and he was yelling at me on the phone and talking down to me on the phone. And so when I saw my girlfriend's sister, I said, "Hey, I talked to that guy JT Fox on the phone. He's a fucking prick and a douchebag. Like he was talking to me, like I'm his asshole." And she started laughing. You're like, "Yeah, he's a prick and all this," but that guy has been pulling that same shtick and his same, real estate success secrets or business success secrets. It's the oldest trick in the book.
You know what his deal was? So, when, like I said, when I first got on the app, when I very first got here, I was in like these business rooms and the success gurus and whatnot. And because a friend of mine that invited me said, "Hey, you should check this out." So I go into these rooms, and when I first got exposed to JT Fox, I was working on a project, and they were saying, like, they were pretending that they were going to give money and invest in these companies. I didn't know what this app was, and I was just like, I'll throw my fucking little idea out there and see if somebody wants to throw me some money, right? And so
you did your pitch?
So I did the whole pitch thing, and then JT Fox and another guy basically like shat all over it, right? But then they said, "You know what?
I've got something I want to send you, and then they reached out to me in the back channels. This woman asked me for my phone number. This is back when I had my real name on here. I gave my phone number out. This woman calls me and says, "Hey, can I set up some time for you to speak with JT?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I didn't know he was a scam artist. Had no idea. Found out all started doing the Google search of that all later. But what he does is he goes, "Hey, look, you were mentioning, your idea," and he goes, "It's not investable, but I can help you get there. If what you need is you need to do a few things, and I can help you do that. I can sell you a block of consulting hours," and he was going to help me get to the point where he could then help me get the investment dollars. And I was just like as soon as he went into that pitch, I realized exactly what those rooms were about. It wasn't about investing in anything. It was about selling consulting hours.
Dude, the funniest shit that I've ever seen on Clubhouse was they would bring up these people who are like the fucking cousin or the brother or sister of a 1980s or 1990s fucking famous actor or actress, and bring them up on stage and put them up there for 4 hours and let them fucking talk. And they'd be the only person on stage, just putting them up on a fucking pedestal. And I'm like, what are we fucking doing? This person's the second cousin of some 1980s fucking has-been actor. Fucking Clubhouse is stupid.
Dude, look, they've had A-list actors on here that I don't give two shits about. But I think one of the raddest things, and he was in here earlier, is Timok being in these rooms. I don't know how old. Well, I'll explain who he is. When I was a kid, there was only one fucking action film, a kung fu movie, that fucking had a black lead in it. And in the neighborhood that I grew up in, that was a big deal for the people I grew up around. They had their own little black superhero. And so I don't know if you've ever heard of the movie Last Dragon, but it was extremely popular. Timok comes here all the time. I think that's one of the raddest things. I've been in rooms with fucking MC Hammer. I don't give a fuck about him. I think his music is shit. I think he peaked when he was the bat boy for the Oakland A's. But Timok, he's got he's got that one thing under his belt that's huge. But it endures to today. You know that this I think this fall, maybe in the wintertime, they're going to re-release the film for its anniversary across the country at select theaters. You don't do that 40 years later unless it was culturally relevant. It's pretty fucking rad that guy shows up.
That's
what do you think about the
cool.
Knots arrest?
That is cool that I might know that. What'd you say, honey?
I was going to say, what do you guys think about the Knots arrest?
Why'd they arrest him?
I think it was a charge of battery, but I think this happened some time ago. So
wasn't he the guy? Wasn't he the guy that said he got fucking herpes from Sarah Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
was that African American guy, or he was in the army, or who was that guy? Denot. I know that name.
Denot. He's a C actor, but he does all those rooms where he busts people out on their shit, and then he brings the receipts, right? But he twists it. He has this great capability that few people have to twist it and touch, reach in and grab that part of you that says, hey, I want to kill this guy, or that's horrible, right? Not a lot of people can conjure up that type of emotion within their listeners.
But he took a lot of shit to YouTube, and he became a YouTuber.
He's just a great smooth talker, too.
Well, Hampton Spears is the most successful F-word, N-word that I know on this app.
Oh my God, where's Hammy?
Also, don't forget, I think George Santos, that Fagler congressman who's going to jail, he also was on this app.
You know who else was on this fucking app? Was fucking the Mario Knopfel guy. That runs the big Twitter Spaces. He was on here and wasn't a very big deal at all. And when I was on Twitter Spaces, he sent me a message and he asked me, oh, are you the dude from Clubhouse? And I was like, oh shit. And then I talked to him a couple of times. That guy, he blew up in the same way that Million Marathon blew up over on Twitter by just doing the bot trick. Somebody's got to figure that out.
What is that?
Yeah, I know. Wait, where they overtook the room?
No, where you remember when Jeremy Green exposed the fact that on Twitter he was creating bots to make those rooms look more relevant than they were, which drew more traffic to the rooms. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, there was a big topic about that. Jeremy he's a character. I don't know what I like about him, but he's a character.
I like nothing about that asshole.
No, that guy was like a P. Diddy party fucking faggot. He got turned out.
Really?
Do you guys ever go on Twitter or TikTok or no?
Wait, he's on TikTok?
No, Master, do you guys go on TikTok?
I don't download Chinese spy apps.
Recently got it. I'm about to delete it, but I got a lot of spam. It's weird spam too.
I figured out a trick when I was working in oil field because we're all on Wi-Fi and shit. And I would walk from my man camp over to the cafeteria, and I would go from one Wi-Fi router to another. And in between going from one to the other whilst you're on stage, it will lose connection for a few seconds, then reconnect. And while you're on stage, it'll actually drop you from the stage. But then once you look down at your phone, you're like, oh shit, I'm still on stage. But wait a minute, my picture's not up there and my profile's not there. So then you can unmute and you can just say whatever the fuck you want and like crash out as much as you want. And there's nothing they can do because the little blocks, the block is fucking gone. So they're like, hey, somebody remove him. And I'm like, just fucking crashing out on stage. And they're screaming. They're like, hey, how do we get rid of this motherfucker? They're like, he's ghosting.
He was going crazy. He's like, I can't fucking find him.
So whenever I'm at my house, I'll walk out my driveway and I'll walk all the way to the end of the driveway, and then I start losing Wi-Fi signal, and I wait about 5 or 7 seconds, and then walk back up, and then it fucking shows that I dropped. But I can still unmute and just fucking talk, and they can't click on the thing to like remove me from the room. Like imagine if I disappeared right now, and I can still unmute, and Roger and Marshall have no way to like kick me. I can just say whatever the fuck I want.
Gold.
Yeah, TikTok's awesome.
That's like when they first created houses and they had that lobby concept where you couldn't mute people, you couldn't throw them out. It was they were just in a lobby. And Tommy, you couldn't mod, you couldn't do anything. And Tommy, some of your guys' favorite racist that was on this fucking app, he's in there fucking. Abby was in there. He's saying all kinds of crazy ass anti-Semitic shit, and nobody could do a single thing. And that thing blew up. I mean, blew the fuck up. Even Clubhouse fucking employees jumped in there, and then when they heard what Tommy was saying, they literally clipped his account instantly. Some of you guys are probably still friends with Tommy.
Dude, do you remember there was this thing that happened, and I don't know if anyone else can give a description of it, but your followers, the followers were the biggest fucking thing on this app. Like,
only to the clout chasers.
Well, that would happen. I don't disagree with that because people.
Yeah, but Angel, the problem with the followers is you could fucking troll the living shit out of people. Because all you had to do is just make up a fucking fake account and then just fucking follow them. And then you can see every room they're in. But like right now, you both have to follow each other back. If you don't follow me back, like if I follow you, I can't see what room you're in.
Right.
Yeah, you actually have to follow me back.
Followers, what I was trying to say about the followers is that it was the numbers, like the amount of people that you had following you. And I remember specifically one day, Nelson was in his room and he was like, there was this comment that he made and he was like, about his followers. He's like, I got XX, some like 24,000 odd followers and this and that. And he like, but he said it like with his chest or whatever, right? And it was like a big thing. And he was like, a little while after, he was like trying to launch, from here onto the platform of YouTube, and it just didn't take for him. He couldn't get a good grip over there, and he kept on slipping, and his content was not as consistent as everybody was so used to seeing him here on Clubhouse. And then one day, motherfuckers clicked into the app and followers were gone.
Here's why that was gold, though.
Wait, I want to say this. Let me finish this. But something happened. Like, I can't define it, but you can hear it in the tone of people's voice. Like those ticket people, those name branders, those like the big name people. Like something happened to the tone of their content, and I will never forget that day.
Well, here's what was great about it. The worst people on this app were the people that fucking had like the followers, but they never followed other people back. They'd follow like maybe 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, 10 people max or some shit like that. And those fucking people are the ones that fucking were the most crushed when they lost their followers. Because if you were mutually following people, then it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, yes, you lost followers, but you'd still like when that day happened, like I still had 5,000, mutuals, because I wasn't one of these fucking prima donnas that thought they were too good to follow other people. And so anybody that lost a bunch of people, I think that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because if you're mutually following someone, if you're mutual, then they become friends, right? They're friends.
Correct.
You have to understand what went behind these numbers. People would be like, as if they were like billionaires, like social billionaires. Yeah, like YouTube famous, like real, like as if Clubhouse was paying them, and people actually believed that Clubhouse was paying them because in and around this time there was a lot of shit going on about people making money from the application and coming back onto the application and talking about that they knew people from the other side. They had secret private rooms with the content creators of the app, and they just like really buffed themselves up. But the day that they took the followers away, the tone to these people was just like a lost soul.
Do you guys think that was the closest that Andrew R's ever considered suicide on that?
No, that guy was never anything on this app.
Oh god.
You're talking about the religious guy?
Yeah, he had like 20,000 or 10,000 followers and shit.
Yeah, but nobody ever gave a shit about that guy.
Dude, I used to go in and harangue him.
I know, that's my point. Nobody cared.
I had like 2,800 friends, and I was like, Andrew, you only have like 100. I'm like, I'm more popular than you right now.
The limit was 5,000.
Fucking hated it.
It was a glorious day when all that happened. It was amazing. All the fake asses left that day.
So when we got these yellow plus signs for the subscription, I remember I was this girl from the other side. She was like, I don't know what the fuck she was doing, but she was saying something about me having so many kids, and then she was like screaming on like the stage about how big my vagina would possibly or is, and this, and I'm just like, it was fucking weird, right? So a few days went by or whatever, and then we got these plus accounts or whatever, and I remember I was like, me and my Uncle Rohan it's like, me and my Uncle Rohan got you